All right, what is up, Utah fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest, and super exciting stuff. Utah came out in the AP poll today. We're going to break that down. But one thing I don't think a lot of people are talking about is how many Utah players are looked at to be high performers at their position. So we're going to talk about all the players that are getting national level recognition about the performance they're expected to put up this season. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about it. Please make sure you guys like the video. Also, comment down below. Who do you guys think of the players we mentioned today are the most likely to live up to their national expectation level? We'll talk about it all, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think there. Who's the most likely to live up to the hype? And then also, if you guys are Utah football fans, Pac 12 fans, Big 12 fans, please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I put out a ton of content and I love sharing it with you guys and I love growing the community. Honestly, I don't get to every single comment, but I really try to. So if you, just so you guys know, when you're debating whether or not to comment, I really do like commenting back and forth with you guys. I know in the last video, a ton of people liked to say that I screwed up that quote. I know I did. Those of you guys that didn't watch the last video have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's talk about Utah's national expectations. All right, guys, and the first thing we need to talk about is the AP poll came out today. Utah is the number 14th ranked team in the country. Now, I'd say there's a lot of factors that go into this, right? We got to consider Rising coming off injury, Keithy coming off injury, not the greatest look against Penn State in the Rose Bowl, right? I'd say definitely it was a different game once Rising was out, but I think that's probably a factor here. They probably look at that and say, hey, this team went against one of the better teams in the country in a bowl game last year and really didn't look that great once their star quarterback was out. So I think that's a factor, right? I do think it'd be fair to say that about USC too, who's number 6 in the country, I believe, but looked way worse than us in their bowl game and lost to a team that, not a bad team, but not a team that I think you'd be happy to lose a bowl game to. But either way, we're number 14 in the AP poll. My guess was number 13. Truthfully, I think to start off the season, I have us somewhere between 10 and 12. I'd probably say right at about 11. But with that, there's a lot of factors, right? There's, like I said, the injuries. We got to see how quickly we can start at the gate. We got 2 tough games to start off this season, so winning both of those is super important. I would say if we do win both of those, it's a huge deal. It means a lot for our season, so hopefully we can win both. But 14 in the AP poll. And what that got me thinking about is all these players that we have that are receiving national level recognition that not a ton of people are talking about. So I want to go ahead and dive into that. Let's take a look. Let's look at our first guy here. The first award watch list I want to take a look at is going to be the Davey OBrien Award. And this is for Cam Rising, guys. Cam Rising was named a finalist for the Davey OBrien Award. Just to give you an idea of the type of names that are mentioned here, we've got big time stars like Caleb Williams and, Drake May, Michael Penix Jr. We got bunch of great guys, Jordan Travis, and Cam Rising got named to this watch list. So super cool recognition for Cam Rising and just kind of making it clear to the rest of the country that they think we have one of the best quarterbacks in the country and a guy that they're watching as one of the top guys to be the best quarterback this year. And I think that's awesome. I think it says a lot about how we feel about Cam Rising. It kind of justifies it. I think myself and a lot of other Utah fans know that we think Cam Rising's awesome, right? Like we think Cam Rising is going to be a guy that can lead us to do a lot of great things. And the fact that he's getting that type of national recognition and really getting a lot of respect put on his name is super exciting to see. And I think that just kind of tells you we're going to go through a bunch of players that are on big time award lists, but I love that the guy at the helm, Cam Rising, is on one of those lists. It's awesome to see. The next award I want us to look at is the Chuck Bednarik Award Watch List, and that has Utah's very own Cole Bishop. And why that's super exciting to me is Cole Bishop is a guy that I know internally we have all thought very high of and really held to a high regard, right? He came out as a freshman in 2021 and just laid the wood, man. Came out with mean intentions. If you tried to go over the middle on that kid, he was going to lay you out. And the Chuck Bednarik Award is the best defensive player in all of football, which is a big deal, right? That means they don't only think he's a really good player, they think he has star level potential. I don't blame him. I'm super excited to see a guy, like Cole Bishop getting that type of recognition. Uh, I think he's got solid coverage, but his ability to stop the run, get in the box, and just lay wood over the middle, dude, is really special. Cole Bishop, awesome guy. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to say Cole Bishop in the comments. I'm not surprised if you guys do. All right, the next one is going to be the Buttkiss Award from Dick Buttkiss. If you guys know about this, is a big deal, honoring the best linebackers in college football. And our very young Karine Reed is a guy that is on the watch list. I think this is even kind of what I was saying about Cole Bishop, where you talk about a guy that I think we valued highly internally, came out as a playmaker as a freshman, really similar to Cole Bishop. Hit the field looking awesome and followed it up with a great year and really showed up last year in 2022 as one of our premier defensive players. I think that was awesome. And I love to see the national, committee, national football community recognizing just how good Karine Reed is, a guy that's a decent or good against the run, but really an exceptional coverage linebacker and a guy that I think has a ton of potential. He's a guy I'm super excited to watch this year, and I love to see him getting that type of national recognition from the greater football community. All right, now we have the Jim Thorpe Award. This is Cole Bishop popping up again. This is given to the best defensive backs in the country. Cole Bishop is on this watch list. That is super awesome to see. Honestly, I'd say I could see him even losing the Jim Thorpe Award and still getting the what was that one? What was the one? I'm spacing out off the top of my head. I could see him losing the Jim Thorpe and still getting the Bednarik. And I know the Bednarik is for the best defensive player in football, but I think for me, when I look at Cole Bishop, I think of him so much more as like a linebacker safety hybrid. He's definitely a safety, but he's really just this guy that can do both so well. Like if I told you that the linebackers were out and Cole Bishop had to go in, fill in for a game, would you guys be upset? No. Yeah, I would say, if anything, I expect Cole Bishop to be in the box a lot this year. And so awesome to see him getting recognition at multiple awards. Really exciting for me. So, and that was the Jim Thorpe Award with Cole Bishop on the watch list. All right, and the next award is the John Mackey Award. This is an awesome one to see. Not only do we have one player on this watch list, but we actually have two in Brant Keithy and Thomas Yasmin. This is given to the most outstanding tight end in college football. So we have two players on this watch list. Super exciting. I'm sure you guys are starting to do the math. There's a lot of great Utah players on this team this year. I can't think of a year where we had this many guys make the watch list. I've been running this channel for 2 years. This will be on my third season on this channel, and I can't think of a season where we had this level of hype. I mean, just back-to-back conference champs, and then we got so many players at on high-end watch lists. I mean, Brant Keithy and Thomas Yasmin, and I would say the depth behind them at tight end is really good too. They'd be starters on a lot of teams. So both those guys are in contention and on the watch list for the John Mackey as the most outstanding tight end. All right, and the next one we have is the Paul Hornung Award. I think that's how you say it. Hornung, I think that's how you say it. But it's Brant Keithy's on that watch list. It is for the most versatile offensive player in college football. I think that's the perfect fit for a guy like him. I could see this being, for me, one of those that I really think is the most likely out of all the people on this list. For me, Brant Keithy with the Paul Hornung. I mean, just his ability to take, sweeps and reverses and stuff like that, on top of his ability as a receiver and blocking as a tight end. I mean, just a guy that can do it all. He can run, he could catch, he could block. I mean, just an awesome, versatile piece. And I think this is the perfect type of award for a guy like Brant Keithy. So awesome to see him get the recognition there. All right, and the next award is the Outland Trophy. Now, the Outland Trophy is given to the most spectacular offensive or defensive lineman in college football. And we actually have three players on this list. We have Keaton Bills, Seitawa Lomea, and we have Junior Tafuna. And I think that says a lot, dude. I think Keaton Bills was awesome last year, and I'm excited to see him follow it up with an awesome season. I think Laumea has his struggles in pass protection, but as a run blocker, he is undeniably a monster, right? Really impressive highlight reel and really impressive every down run blocking ability. I think last year he was a little out of position in learning a new spot as he played some tackle and he struggled a little bit, but by the end of the year, he really stepped it up. And then also you got Junior Tafuna in there, and Junior Tafuna was a little down last season, but not bad. I'd say he was a solid player. He had a great freshman year, and hopefully he bounces back junior year for a great season. But I'd say it's awesome to see Junior on that list. Because I don't even know if Junior's the best defensive lineman on this team, to tell you guys the truth. I mean, he might be the most well-rounded, but there is some beasts on that D line. So just awesome to see that there. Those guys are all on the Outland Trophy watch list. I would love to hear your opinions on those three guys and who you guys think is really going to step up and show out of that group. Do any of those guys have a real chance of winning the Outland? I mean, wouldn't shock me if one of them did. Wouldn't shock me. And then we've got the Bronco Nagurski Award. Again, the award given to the best defensive player in college football. We've got Junior Tafuna showing up again and Cole Bishop showing up again. So two guys that have been staples of this defense for a couple years now. Like I said, Junior Tafuna didn't have the craziest year last year, but I'm excited to see him bounce back as a junior after a terrific freshman year and an average to above average sophomore year. I'm excited to see him bounce back. I absolutely expect him to have a huge season. And who knows how much of his maybe bit of a lackluster last year, not lackluster in the sense that he didn't do well, but not quite that ceiling we were hoping from him. But who knows how much of that was him just having to play an anchor role in the middle of that defense. And then we got Cole Bishop again. Guys, we talked about it, just lays the wood, hard hitting, mean dude. Would not be shocked at all if this guy is the reason we win a couple games this year. Definitely a difference maker in Cole Bishop. And then we've got the Maxwell Award with Cam Rising popping up one more time on this watch list. The Maxwell Award is given to the most outstanding player in college football, similar to the Heisman. Awesome to see Cam Rising on this list. It means that nationally, he's getting the respect that a lot of us feel he deserves. So not only is he up there for the Davey OBrien, but he's up there for the Maxwell. I think a lot of people are starting to notice just how awesome and talented Cam Rising is. I'm sure he will be a guy that is on an NFL team in a year. But I'm just so excited to have him for this last season and see if he can grab some of these awards he's on the watch list for. All right, guys, and those are all the players on the watch list. But I do want to just take a second to just kind of regroup over all these awards we just went over. So we got Cam Rising on the Maxwell Award. We've got Bronco Nagurski Award, Junior Tafuna and Cole Bishop. We've got the Outland Trophy, Junior Tafuna, Keaton Bills, and Seitawa Lomea. We've got we got more, dude. There's more coming. We got the Paul Hornung Award with Brant Keithy. We got John Mackey Award, Brant Keithy and Thomas Yasmin. We've got Davey OBrien Award, Cam Rising. I mean, it's just stacked and stacked. Dick Butkiss Award, Karine Reed, Jim Thorpe Award, Cole Bishop. I mean, how much better does it freaking get, dude? And then we got Chuck Bednarik Award, Cole Bishop again. What I'm saying, guys, what I'm really trying to just break down for you guys is that is a ton of Utah players that a lot of people believe are in the running for not being a good player at their position, but being one of the best players in the country at their position or whatever they do. I think that should tell you guys a lot about what you should expect from Utah this year. And I know personally, when I went down that list of awards and I saw how many guys we had on both sides of the ball that just looked to be great players and some of the best players in the country at their position, it got me really excited. I hope it did the same for you guys. If it did, please make sure you guys drop the video a like. That'll help get it out to more Utes fans. Also, comment down below. Seriously, I really do want to know, who do you guys think is the most likely on one of these watch lists to actually win the award? I'd really like to hear it. I think that'll have some interesting perspectives. And if you haven't already, guys, Pac-12 fans, Utah fans, Big 12 fans, subscribe to the channel. We put out Utah football content all the time. And if we play your team, if Utah's playing your team, I'm making a video and we're talking about it. Outside of that, guys, I'm out of here, and go Utes.